What up, everyone? It's your boy, Satemangali, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of your Daily Revolution, the podcast that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic: why do you carry unnecessary burdens? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So as I finished out a workout, by now you know I'm preparing for Kokoro 45 in September of 2016. Yes, the 50-plus hour juggernaut, which is a SEAL Fit training designed for civilians, but to let civilians have massive breakthrough when it comes to physical pain, suffering, and just knowing you can do so much more. So I'm making my training harder, and there's a couple things with this, right? Number one, I'm making my training harder. So the reason I do this is in football, right? If you practice harder and you train harder and longer and smarter, then when you get in the games are actually pretty easy. This is what makes someone like Kobe Bryant so powerful and so good. Like, he was the man who trained, who shot, who was just relentless in being the very best that he could be. So I train with a 20-pound vest, and pretty soon I'll get this up to 30 pounds. And as I was doing this workout yesterday, it was tough, right? Because I'm already 300 pounds. By the way, I cracked 300. I'm down to like 293 to 297. Whoop, whoop. It's amazing what happens when you just make a commitment. So I got this vest on, and I'm training, and it's great for me, and it's awesome. Right? How often in your life do you make your training easier? It doesn't serve anyone when you make your training easier. Training was meant to get you better, which means you have to push capacity and threshold. Well, that's not the purpose of this podcast. The purpose is this. When I got done with the workout, I took my vest off, and I felt lighter than a feather. Not literally, but that's really kind of how I felt. After doing all these air squats, running, pull-ups, push press, push-ups, all these exercises with the 20-pound vest, I took the vest off, and voila! Felt great. So here's the biggest lesson I want you to consider. Right? I purposely put the weight on. I purposely put that burden on me to make me stronger. But in life, that's not true. In life, I see so many people that carry around unnecessary burdens, unnecessary weight vests. They get up every morning, they put the weight vest on, and they go about their daily activity. Why? Because you're so addicted to your story. You're so addicted to being in this place I call victimhood. And as long as you got that weighted vest on, it's okay. Why? Because now you can blame someone else and shift responsibility. A couple stories here. Number one, I know a gentleman who's married, has kids, has grandkids. And I had conversation with him. I worked with him sometime in the past, and he says, Satema, you just don't understand. My parents got divorced when I was young, and they forced me to watch my younger siblings. And I didn't even have a life. I'm like, well, how old are you now? And he's like, I'm 52. I'm like, when was this? He's like, it was when I was I was 14 or 15 years old. I'm like, cool. So you mean to tell me for 30 plus years, you have carried this unnecessary, voluntary weighted vest? Is that what I'm hearing? And he was like, no, you don't understand. I was like, well, I don't have to understand. All I have to understand is this. You love putting on that weighted vest with your parents' divorce, watching siblings, having no life. That's a vest that you put on every single day. And you've carried that for 30 plus years, voluntarily. And I asked him the question, well, how's it working for you? He started to cry. A grown man began to cry. Nothing wrong with crying. And he says it's not. He says, I despise my parents. I hold bitter feelings and a grudge towards them. And I asked him, well, would you like to get rid of this? Would you like to let go of the vest? Would you like to take the vest off? And of course he said, yes. Yes. And I asked him a question which blew his mind, which was simply this. I said, what is it within you that craves holding on to that story? What is it within you that craves loving that story and that has you hold on to it? Now, he couldn't figure this out. He's like, I don't know. I said, let me help you. When you carry unnecessary burdens and weighted vests of stories of divorce of the past, the death of a loved one, the divorce of your parents, your own divorce, guess what happens? It allows you to shift responsibility. Now, this is subtle. And most of us don't want to shift responsibility and blame other people, but we just naturally do. We just naturally shift the responsibility because now we have a good reason, a really good reason why we can fail, play small, be mediocre, not strive for greatness because, I got this weighted vest on that I put on every single day. So what are the weighted vests that you're carrying with you? Let's take a look at your body and physicality. What stories are you continuing to put on every single day? For me, well, I'm Polynesian. We just overeat and eat lots of food and we just don't that's just kind of how we do it, which is a ridiculous story. I don't know. And I'm sure I'm probably like the only Polynesian that runs that story. What stories are you running about your body, about fitness, about exercise that prevents you? I know a good friend of mine, she used to be rather large and heavy. In her own words, right? She would just joke about it, how she was kind of the bigger girl. And then something happened and she got crazy into fitness. She lost all this weight. She became this instructor, this fitness instructor. And people of her circles, they began to criticize her. Isn't that crazy? They criticized her, which was good because it meant that she was doing something out of the ordinary. To this day, she is healthy, active, happy. She creates value for a lot of people, but she had to break that stigma, that status quo, physically. She got rid of the vest. Take a look at spirituality. What vests are you still carrying from your past? I know people who are good Christian people, just like they worship, they go to church, and they carry around these burdens of sins from the past. Why would you do that? Get rid of the vest. Take the vest off. Take it off. Unless you like to hold on to the past, which drags you down and prevents you from being your greatest version of you. Look at your relationships, your marriage. Look at the relationship with your family, your parents, siblings. What stories do you continue to put on that prevent you from going vertical, from being more powerful, from having more joy and fulfillment? Will you get rid of those stories? Will you take off the vest? Take the vest off. And in your business, this is a fun one. I can't do it. I'm not worthy. No one will listen to me. Who am I to be this expert and this great person? Says the person who loves to carry around the weighted vest. Take the vest off. As I took my vest off during the workout, I loved it. But I love carrying the vest for getting stronger. But these vests that I'm talking about, these figurative vests, they're unnecessary. You don't need to carry them around. You don't have to shift responsibility. You can simply take responsibility for your life and quit wearing the vest. Take it off. Drop it. Get rid of it. Leave it alone and move forward powerfully so that you can create results that matter to you. Brothers and sisters, no need to carry the vest. This is your boy, Satem Mangala, reminding you if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it's going to require you to get into that relentless pursuit with the ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day to get to the top of your mountains, where your promised land prize and possibilities are waiting for you. The revolution has begun. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.